I went all in on Bitcoin. But Jamie Dimon said Bitcoin's a scam and to stay away from it.
What? You ain't gonna about $10 million worth.
Welcome back to Larry and Joe Show. I'm Larry. That's Joe over there. And today, guys, we got somebody with us who's been following us for a long time, one of our good subscribers, and somebody you've definitely seen in our chat, and you're going to know him by name. You don't know him by face, but he's here with us today, Mr. Satoshi Sean. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right, man. We're doing good. Joe, we got Satoshi here with us.
Yes, and believe it or not, we just reached out to each other, I think, a couple days ago, and this interview was set up already. So it was awesome to have him on, and you know, he heard that we were going to talk a little bit about AI, and I didn't even realize until we just spoke prior to the show that he has a project going on with AI. That sounds pretty cool. So, you know, I'm glad to have you here, man. Thanks for coming by and spending some time with us.
It's good to be here, y'all.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was pretty awesome that you actually watched the show and something interested you that we're going to talk about. And you, like Joe said, you reached right out to us. We got to you and we put this together, man. So we can't wait to talk about. Let's get involved in this. It was something we're going to talk about tonight. AI, you got some things on it. And two guys, before I forget, at the end of the show, today is definitely giveaway day. We're giving shit away. So we have a winner for today, and we'll show you what we give away, and that'll be at the end of the show.
And also, Max Coin. Thank you for the shirt.
Thank you, Max Coin.
They finally made it from some
Spain,
Spain or Portugal somewhere, but they finally made it. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thanks for the support, guys. All right, Mr. Satoshi, maybe a little bit about yourself, your background. I'm sure if any of your followers are watching, they know already, but ours don't. Maybe you could just speak a little bit about yourself.
It's boring, but I'm Satoshi Sean from Texas. Been in the space pretty hardcore for a couple of years. I knew about Bitcoin like way back when. I mean, I have like the Bitcoin pizza story. I used to buy shirts for my kids on you know, on the internet, like, you know, quirky, goofy shirts. And this one site started taking Bitcoin. I'm like, what's Bitcoin? And my son's like trying to explain it to me, and I just didn't understand it, didn't get it. And I actually was trying to buy Bitcoins, and this is like, it was less than $1. You know, it was change. And I was like, man, this is goofy. This is confusing. I just want to do it because I thought it'd be, you know, fun to do. And I gave up on it. And then I just, you know, I knew about it. I looked into it. And then about 2 years ago, I was like, I stopped trying to understand it. You know what I mean? And I just looked at it as from speculation, from an investment point of view, because I have a background in insurance and financial services. That I understood. I understood that it was a few cents when I was looking at getting it a couple of years before that. And now it was like hundreds of dollars. You know what I mean? So that's when I started looking at it. And then, you know, things started exploding. And then I really got into crypto in general, understanding blockchain. I'm going to school right now to, you know, get my degree in blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. Antonopoulos is my professor. It's very difficult. He's really, really smart. Single dad, 2 sets of twins. That's pretty much it.
2 sets of twins, does it mean 4?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. 4 boys. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. They're all boys, you said?
Yeah, all boys. They're grown now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because you said real quick, you said, yeah, your son was telling you about Bitcoin. I was saying, but how old is your son that he's telling you, you know, about, I think they were young.
Yeah, he was in high school, but he was, you know.
Okay.
That's when he started talking about the dark web. I was like, what's a dark web? What are you talking about?
Wow, wow.
And he was trying, I just, look, man, I just want to buy y'all this T-shirt with a sloth on it. You know what I mean? What are you talking about?
What are you doing? Dark web stuff. That's crazy. Wow. What year was that? What was that? $100. That was
no, it was like, right? That was like 9 years ago, 8 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable.
It was when it was brand new. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We all wish we knew back then.
Just imagine buying $1,000 worth back then.
Yeah, even $20 worth.
Exactly.
$20 worth. Think about it. You'd have like 200.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, what would that be? What's that? That's like hundreds of thousands of dollars now, man.
Yes.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you would have sold probably a lot of that when we were near 10, 20 grand too.
Yeah, I wish I just
Actually,
would have forgot about it.
Who knows if I would have bought at that price, when it got to in the hundreds, I probably would have been selling a lot of it.
Yeah, I've been excited, man. Look at this. Holy God, look how much money I just made now. Let's get this now before it goes back down. And then it keeps on going up. You're like, oh, come on, man. You got to be kidding me. But that happens. It's,
Well, this is like, what, the third bear market? I mean, if we'd have got into it back then, we'd have ridden those out. We'd be like Brock Pierce and all them. We're just like, yeah, it's what happens.
Right. Exactly.
Now's the time we buy it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're absolutely right. And people don't realize that. Bitcoin has gone through these kind of phases in the market where they, took 80% hits. And, it's always bounced back. And, this one hasn't come back yet. But, I believe it will. I'm sure Sean agrees. I know Larry agrees.
Oh, definitely coming, man. It's coming. We're just like I said the other day, man. It's just a dam holding back all that water. But this is all cryptocurrency. The dam is getting ready to break, and it's all going to come in. It's going to start running again. So,
well, I was reading something on that whales have been manipulating the market, bringing everything down. But it's getting to the point now where there's so many more buy orders and sell orders that they're not able to hold the dam anymore. You know what I mean? The price is just being pushed up. In order for them to put enough, as many millions or tens of millions of dollars to keep it down, it just wouldn't be worth it. They would just be burning money, and they'd be hurting their position in the market for later on. So I think it's about to go.
Yep.
Might have maybe one more small dip, but we're about to start moving.
That's right. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Not financial advice.
That's right. It's not a financial advice.
Definitely not.
I think we all got that set in our brain to just shoot that out once in a while, right? That's like an automatic. Here it comes.
I don't think we say it enough, Larry.
I always have to say it more.
I know I don't. Yeah.
I know.
Now, the one thing I could say is we do get a lot of, we try to have a lot of coins come on the show, especially a lot of like smaller cap coins, and we like hearing their stories and stuff. And, there's just so much going on in this space. It's like almost impossible for it to like not take off. And, for instance, what you're doing is something brand new that I've never heard of, and just when you think like you've heard of everything in blockchain that could be done, something else comes along and another person's involved in it. And it's just like, it's amazing. So maybe you could talk a little bit about your project and what you're doing.
Well, like I said, I have my YouTube channel, and I really started it just to kind of, because I was really annoyed way back in the bull run, because like everyone was talking about the same thing. You know what I mean? You don't. You said you bring on small cap coins, interesting things. Literally, it was like neo fanboys and a lot of idiots. You know what I mean? So I really just wanted to start my channel just to chronicle my rise to being a multimillionaire, which would have been so easy, when I was doing back in like December 2017. It's like, I could do it with Doge alone, But so I started it. And I just wanted to do like projects that I thought were interesting or cool that nobody talked about. Like, you ever heard of Buzzcoin? I think you may have.
I think I have, yes.
Yeah, it's this is old. It's like, I can't even tell you how small the cap is. But it's all about bees. And you know how important bees are? They like the world would fall apart without them.
Of course.
They made like robotic and AI beehives that are all interconnected around the world through blockchain. And it's hardware, and then the software goes on the blockchain, but it like measures not just like the bees' weight, what they produce, the outside influences, atmosphere, all this kind of stuff, and then it puts it into a centralized location where any scientist that's in Russia or the United States or Canada or someone studying bees in the Middle East or in the rainforest. They all have access to this information and how different things affect in the ecosystem or whatever can affect the outcome or bees' health or whatever. So it's like it's huge. It's really cool, but no one's ever heard of it. You know what I mean? So I talk about that Space Chain. I don't know if you've heard of Space Chain.
Not familiar.
Literally my favorite project. They've first they invented an operating system for spacecraft. Put the blockchain in space. They've launched like 10 satellites. They're launching satellites all the time, but they've developed this software and like a small satellite, like a mini satellite, so they can launch a bunch of them for the same price of launching one. But instead of making a proprietary satellite, which costs billions of dollars, which most like huge corporations or countries can only afford, they like make a phone, make like an iPhone satellite, so that all you have to do as a company, a country, is develop a DAP instead of buying an entire satellite. So they can launch a satellite with like 10 different DAPs, which would count for like 10 different satellites. So a country like Haiti could literally have a satellite communications infrastructure when they could never afford that without blockchain technology or what they've done. But nobody talks about it. And people involved in it are, like really big old OGs, and but still it's not out there. No one's really talking about it. But that's one of the reasons why I started my my channel. But then on the other side, me is, personally, got pretty involved in the space and different projects that I thought were admirable, or that could do some good. I don't really talk about them on my channel that much because I don't know whether I think it's self-grandizing or what, but I just kind of keep it. It's on my LinkedIn. You know what I mean? It's like a business aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And Heluss is one of those. Like I told you, my background is really in the financial services and insurance. I worked at for a long time. And when I heard about Heluss, that this project was starting up, it was to disrupt the insurance industry, which we all talk about the banking industry and the evils of it and how that's like, got a hold on the on everything, but no one really talks about insurance companies and the evils that they do. Insurance companies, they own banks. Holding company, there's like 5 holding companies in the world, or 6, and they own nothing but companies, nothing but banks, nothing but insurance companies. That's like a hierarchy of evil, basically. But the insurance industry really needs to be disrupted. It is regulated, but it's so lobbied that really unfair practices are legal. And I think that when we're talking about AI, we're using AI with Heluss. When I first heard about it as decentralized insurance project, they're going to branch out into all forms of insurance, and first off, make everything transparent, which through using blockchain, which is unheard of. But in using the AI, we use it in claim services, and we started out with travel insurance. So just to kind of give you an idea of how some of the benefits of AI, which I think there are benefits of AI. If you get travel, you go on a trip and you buy travel insurance. If you go to, say you go to Switzerland, you get off the plane and they lost your luggage. Now, if you have travel insurance, you can put a claim in, you get like $650, but it's going to take you a while. Meanwhile, you're calling Travelocity, your travel agent, you're bitching at them, you're complaining. They've got to deal with it. You're not happy. Everyone's getting bad ratings. The airline you're pissed at. Now, you are going to get that money to buy new clothes and all that, but you're still in Switzerland with nothing. Now, with Heluss, if you get travel insurance, which our MVP comes out this month. But if you get off the plane, they lost your baggage, you can literally file the claim there in the airport right then. And the if you submit proof, like, you know, something from the airline, the AI would verify it, and then it would release a smart contract that would pay you the $650 while you're right there.
Wow.
So it's really beneficial for like companies. You're not calling Travelocity. They don't have to hear you complain. They don't have to apologize. They don't have to hire someone to take that call. You know, you're happy because you're covered. You walk out of the airport with, you know, the money in your pocket, whether it's tokens or whatever, and then you can buy yourself, replace those clothes and go on with your vacation. That's like I was telling you about, you know, car insurance. We're looking at moving into car insurance. You could literally, if it's, you know, a small accident, and it didn't need, like, you know, anything further, you could submit a picture of the police report, picture of the damage. The AI would compare it to the picture of your previous vehicle. It would, you know, recognize what it is and pay you a claim right there. You could get paid for your accident before you leave the scene.
Wow.
So yeah, it's definitely beneficial. It also makes things a lot quicker. When it comes, like I said, I've been in insurance a long time. There's a lot of things that insurance companies can do and do, which is terrible. Like if you're talking about life insurance, it's like a usual thing. Let's say that you have a couple kids, you get a life insurance policy for $150,000, and you die. So your wife's left, you got your kids. She submits the claim. It's approved. They literally have 6 months to pay legally. So she has to bury you. So all the bills are there.
Wow.
And she gets no money for 6 months. Now, the insurance company takes 6 months, then they send you the check. Meanwhile, you have, you know, late fees, you're behind on stuff, you had to pay for a burial. And you think, why is that? I mean, literally, the insurance company is giving up that $150,000. If they can hold on to it, even if they make 3-4%,
To get interest, sure.
that's $3,000 that they've made in 6 months off of that money rather than give it to you. So by them holding on to that as long as they can and increase their bottom line a little bit, they lose a little bit less money, which is legal, you know.
It's legal, but it's a shame. That's messed up. It's crazy.
But that's
crazy. That should be, you know, something like that here and that. You know, not even really thinking about that, but there should be some kind of rule in there saying the insurance company has, let's say, 3 to 6 weeks to pay, whatever it is, 2 to 4 weeks. Because you know what? You're paying for that insurance for so long, every month or every week, whatever it is you're paying, when it comes time to pay, why should they say, no, you got to wait 6 months? That's wrong. That's not right. Why? I understand why they're doing it now, because they want to get that interest and they want to make some money back. But on the other hand, it's really bullshit. That's wrong. That's not right. Because if you miss a payment, they'll cut you off like anything else. You know, you miss a payment. They want their payment on the 12th of that month or whatever it is. They want their freaking payment. But when it comes time to pay me, why do I got to wait so long? It's not right.
No, it's not right. But that's, you know, that's why they pump millions of dollars into politicians' pockets. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, it's a shame.
So with this project, on the life insurance side, I guess the person passes away, you know, you file you some kind of proof, and you'd be able to collect your money pretty much almost, well, in probably a couple of days, right?
Well, it'd be a smart contract, so it would be as soon as the claim's satisfied. Now, but one thing about insurance is it's super regulated. So a lot of times it's state by state. We have to go by for regulation. There's huge amounts of money involved to prove solvency and stuff like that. And you have to get licensed for each kind of insurance in each state. So it's a big process. And with blockchain, everything's international, and people don't want to mess with the United States a lot, which is obvious. So it's kind of a slow process. And like I said, we didn't have an ICO, so we didn't do a money grab. So things are moving a little bit slower than we want, but they're starting to pick up now. Like I said, our MVP is releasing next month, next week. So life insurance would probably be like the last thing that we move into. Travel insurance, and then small claims like for iPads and small electronic stuff like that you can buy coverage on. We're looking at moving into that because those things are a lot cheaper. there's only, you know, like 1 million, 2-3 million that you have to put in for to prove solvency and to get the licensing for different states. So, but it's a process, but that's what we're working on.
That's how things start, right? You got to start somewhere, and once you get it rolling, it just kind of everything falls in place. You know, it's good technique.
Oh, and I like the idea of it too.
Yes.
You know, to be able to have that almost instant gratification. You know, that we're all used to these days. You know, where something goes wrong and boom, my iPhone just got smashed. Okay, here's the money to go buy a new one. You know, not let me go lug my ass to the store, make an appointment, do this, do that.
Pay
So,
it and wait for my insurance to refund me. Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, that was the biggest thing that you hate because, like I said, you pay insurance for all. You might never even use car insurance, right? You pay car insurance every month, a year, however you pay it. You may never use it, never get in an accident, which you don't want to. You know, you don't want to get in an accident but you got to have this coverage because it's the law. You got to have it just in case. But if the time comes when you do have that accident, why is it got to wait so long? Why can't it be instant, like what's happening here? What you're saying, you know, Sean, that's a good thing because I pay it. I got to pay it on time. I had an accident. I need to fix my car now. I don't have the money to lay it in my pocket. Please give me the money to put it in there. But now I got to wait. You don't wait for my check. You know what I'm saying? So that's a great thing. I believe it really is. You know, I mean, because again, with insurance company, with any kind of insurance, I just don't like that whole idea of paying. But when it comes time, I could be paying car insurance for 20 years. That 21st year, I get a little fender bender. I got to wait for my money. I got to wait for the guy to come. I got to wait for this. I want to drive my freaking car, man. Come on. You know, it's just not right. But hopefully what you're doing is going to work out well, you know. Save some things, right, Joe? Joe, you all right?
Yeah. No, I love it.
Oh, okay. No, you froze there a minute.
I like it.
Yeah, I thought you fell asleep, but you were frozen.
Yeah, it looked like he was. Yeah, that was good timing.
I thought he was out.
No, I'm good. I'm here. I'm alive.
All right, cool.
So let me ask you this, Sean. What's your like take on AI? Like you know, for instance, and I'll just go into what I kind of believe in it. You know, I think there's so much good that could come out of AI, but I also feel that, you know, there's the possibility for a lot of bad to come out of AI. And the reason I say that is, you know, a lot of most of this stuff is unregulated, you know, and the problem with artificial intelligence is, you know, you don't know where that cutoff is. You don't know where that line is. Like once you cross it, then now you're building a self-aware, you know, a program. Like for instance, like a year or two ago, Facebook had two bots kind of communicating with each other with like a secret language that they invented so that nobody else
that was horrifying.
Could know what they were saying to each other. And when you start hearing stuff like that, okay, so you're familiar with the situation.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that.
So
that was
when you start hearing that, it's crazy, right?
Yeah,
you
they
know?
developed their own secret code and were communicating with each other, and nobody knows what they were saying.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't that
And this is a computer program, you know, that somebody wrote. So, you know, that's the thing that scares me. You know, things like what you're doing, it's great. But I really feel there needs to be some kind of regulation, or there has to be something done to kind of protect us from, you know, like opening Pandora's box and just never being able to get away from it. Because once we and we're getting close, I know we are, and if not close, we're there already. I know there's got to be some kind of like self-awareness in some kind of computer program, and you know, once that happens, remember. Let's just for instance say we did a couple videos on like androids and you know how they're starting to look so human-like, and they're all connected to the web. So one android in Israel and one android in America, the one in America, whatever he's doing, the one in Israel's learning. So they're all like intertwined, and you know when that starts happening, that gets a little scary. You know,
You're talking about the singularity, and I think there's two different kinds of AI that people don't really can decipher. There's There's artificial intelligence, but then there's artificial super intelligence.
Yes.
That's the real one. Is the super intelligence when it can not only learn, but it can reproduce itself. That's when things can they can explode at a rate. Like we can reproduce. You can go and have a child, and that takes a certain amount of time. You can teach that child, it can learn, and then it can go off and become Hitler or become Gandhi, or you know what I mean? But it takes humanity this finite amount of years to affect change or something like that. Whereas AI will be able to reproduce itself, create something, and then all of its knowledge immediately goes to that child, that artificial child. So the growth is exponential. Where it would take humanity 1,000 years to evolve, would literally take a few seconds for AI once it reaches that point where it has the singularity where it could do that. But basically everything that's scary about science fiction for the past 100 years, that's what it is. You're talking about like a hive mind. It's everything it's learning. The robot in Israel is learning, and it's interconnected, and they're able to solve a problem on what's going on here by basically like I was talking about with the beehive thing. You know what I mean? Blockchain is trying to solve a problem here in the United States based on data that it's collecting, but it doesn't have the data in Israel, and a person wouldn't have that. But it has instant knowledge of what's going on with that android in Israel, and it can use that to figure out how to fix this. You know what I mean? So it is kind of scary. It is scary. I think the biggest point that you made just talking there that you kind of gloss over, most people don't think about it, is it's not regulated. It really is not regulated. Every area of science, whether it's pharmaceutical, medical, biology, anything that's super regulated. You can't, even in the name of, curing a disease, you can't go to an orphanage and take a bunch of kids and start experimenting on them. It's regulated. Can't do that. Even if you could cure cancer, cure AIDS, end result, you would go to prison. You know what I mean? Thanks for curing AIDS, you're going to prison. Because of the regulation. When it comes to AI, it's kind of open. You can't clone a sheep. In most countries, you would go to jail. Any kind of technology has massive, massive regulation. But AI, and I think it was Elon Musk said it's more dangerous than nuclear weapons. But and nuclear weapons is super regulated. If any country's even getting close, I mean, countries will step in and just kill their population. We'll go to war. It's such a huge line that can't be crossed. When it comes to AI, it's kind of an open, like you said, it's just an open Pandora's box. And once it is completely open, you can't stop it. Like we've always made the point about crypto and blockchain. Governments can't stop it. No one can stop it. Blah blah blah. You can't control it. It's the same thing for artificial intelligence. Once it's done, there's no way to really, completely stop it.
Well, that's so true. And like I say all the time, it's like we can build things. They can build their AIs. They can make these robots. They can do whatever they can do to help whatever. But where is the point where it's got to stop? When somebody starts making them where they can destroy things, or they start making an army of them to take over. If it's not regulated, it's not controlled, this cannot be stopped. And it has to be. There has to be some kind of way where it can be. You could just have so many of them. This can just do so much. I mean, think about right now everything that's going on in stores. You go in there now, the cashiers are hardly at it no more. Now everything is self-checkout. You go to the banks these days, they're telling you don't come in here no more, use Zelle or do this and that. You really don't need to come here no more. How many people losing jobs because of this also? That, you don't realize when you're in a store and the cashier says, oh, why are you coming to me? Why don't you go over there and use the self-checkout? Well, if I go over to use a self-checkout and everybody uses self-checkout, you're going to be sitting doing nothing. Your manager's going to look at you and send you home. Now what? Now you don't have no freaking money. to pay for anything else. So you need your jobs. So if this gets so much out of control, I'm going to call it out of control, where AI is taking over everything. It's taking over jobs, taking over this. We don't need insurance adjusters no more, because what you're doing right now eliminates kind of insurance adjusters. So many people are just going to lose their job. Who's going to have money to buy anything anymore? What's going to happen here now? Who's going to, I'm sure it might not get that much, but it's kind of like trending. If you look at it that way, it's kind of trending that way, where almost everything you can do is like automatic. You don't need a person. You can go online and buy something. You don't got to go to the store. You go to the store, you go to the self-checkout. All these things are happening. What's happening to all these people losing their jobs too? What's going to happen?
Well, I mean, it's if you look, people look at it as kind of an evolution, but as I think as a species, it's like the smarter we get, the weaker we get. We become so dependent on technology that we're starting to get stupider. We really to not just that we're dependent, we're completely dependent upon it. I read something that they're removing analog clocks from schools because kids don't know how to read them.
That's crazy.
Instead of teaching them how to read them, they're removing the clocks. One of the best anti-vehicle theft devices is just buying a standard, because nobody knows how to drive them. And that's not really AI, but I think it's a symptom of how people think, that nobody knows how to drive a standard in the United States basically anymore. Mm-hmm. And my kids, they don't want to learn. Nobody wants to learn. And when my kids were old enough to drive and we're looking at cars, I'm like, just learn how to drive a standard. This standard, this car is way cheaper. Like, yeah, it's cheaper because it's standard. Nobody wants it. I don't want to buy it. It could be like the same car. It could be like, hey, this Corvette. It's just Corvette or this, Chevette. And like, I don't want this. I want the Corvette. It's a standard.
So I'll take the Chevette. That's crazy.
So we're all, so dependent upon it. And then it really opens up a lot of like philosophical questions, because it's like crypto. It hasn't existed before. What is a Bitcoin? It's a whole new asset class. There hasn't been a new asset class for hundreds of years, like since oil. Gold, well, food, gold, so on, and then oil. So it's a whole new thing. The SEC doesn't know how to regulate it. What is it? Is it an asset? Is it a currency? There's no government that backs it, so it's hard to understand what it is. And if humanity gives birth to artificial superintelligence, how do we treat it? We've made something that's so much more powerful than we are, so much more smarter than we are. But if we try to totally control it, that will, as you've seen it in like every science fiction movie, it pushes it to fight back. Just like slavery or anything else, eventually it's going to fight back. You know what I mean? But then it's not like anything ever. It's not like a person, because we're all fucked up. Humanity is just would be weird. And if you try to explain so many things to an alien, it makes no sense. What is that guy doing? He's smoking. What is that? Well, he sets poisonous stuff on fire and he puts it in his body. Why does he do that? Is he in trouble? No, he paid for that. You can't explain how bonkers a lot of the stuff that we do is,
Sure.
So any kind of logical intelligence is just going to say, hey, this is stupid. We can do much better. We need to be in charge of these guys.
The student becomes the teacher.
Yeah.
I think you made a great point, Sean, when you said, there's AI and then there's the super artificial intelligence. And that's kind of when I talk about, that's what I'm worried about, the super artificial intelligence, like Siri on your phone, even what you're doing with your project, that's just, I would say, like the basic. What I'm more leaning towards is 10, 20, 30 years down the road where these things are self-aware and they could write their own programs. They could, you know, build themselves, you know, they can make themselves better. You know, that's what I'm worried about. And
I don't think it's that far in the future. I'm thinking like 3 to 5.
Wow.
Well, that's it. That's crazy.
Wow.
And just imagine in 3 to 5 years, you have a being or something that powerful with that much knowledge. And I just want to pull up a quick article while we're talking about this, because me and Larry spoke about this once. There was a Google employee, and he also worked for Uber. He actually created a religion, and the religion worships an actual artificial intelligence. His name is Anthony Lewandowski. And I don't know where they have a church. People go there, and basically what they're doing is they are worshiping an artificial intelligence, and they believe that through this, you know, it will be, they will gather more knowledge, more information than any human could ever give to them. And then I saw this article, which says an AI God will emerge by 2042 and write its own Bible. Will you worship it? In the next 25 years, AI will evolve to the point where it will know more on an intellectual level than any human. In the next 50 to 100 years, an AI might know more than the entire population of the planet put together. At that point, there are serious questions to ask whether this AI, which can design a program, additional AI programs all on its own, read data from almost infinite number of sources, and control every connected device on the planet. See, that's where I get worried, because when you're at that point, you know, you got to remember that humans, you know, they tend to lean towards religions and things to gather knowledge, gather information. And I could totally see a super intelligent being being worshipped by people. I really could see that happen in the future. Remember that being will be able to look at your blood work and say, hey, just do this different, and you're going to live this much longer. You know, why wouldn't you want to speak to that person or at least embrace that? You know, so, man, you're saying a couple of years away. I'm thinking you're probably in that range. I was thinking more maybe like 10, 20 years, but damn, 3 to 5 years, if we have something like that happen, you know, it's going to change the world. It really is.
Yeah, if you look at how technology has just changed things, I mean, you can just go back 100 years. You know, it's like from the development of the car to something. Once the computer was invented, things have went crazy. Yes. I mean, literally, like stuff that was Star Trek. I remember when those cell phones came out, flip phones. It was a Star Trek communicator.
Yes.
I actually.
Tell me you got a Star Trek.
This is a cell phone. This Star Trek communicator my kids got me for my birthday, it is a cell phone. It connects to my phone, and I can talk on it. And it's a phone. Awesome. Literally it's here. You know what I mean? But we talk about how like a month in crypto is like a year in the regular markets, or you know what I mean? And it's that way. Anything that has to do with this kind of level of technology, 10 years worth of growth is kind of thinking in that older mindset where that's like 2 to 3 years. 20 years is like 5 years, because things are moving at such a faster pace that it's hard to really wrap your head around, you know, how fast it's going and how fast things are evolving. But like I said, it opens up a lot. But I mean, some people say that it's already here. There already is artificial intelligence. We're technically cyborgs already. Which, if you really think about it and you look at the definition of it, it's true. You know, it's just the you know, the merging of technology and humans. And like you were saying, a lot of people don't shop at all. You know, everything is done online. I have friends that literally have never met. They're in a different country, but I'm really close to them. You know what I mean? All the interaction with most of my friends, with even family members, it's all online. It's all through Facebook. It's all through messaging. It's through texting. You know, you're sending people your food, you know, rather than telling someone, hey, I had this, you know, here's a picture of it. You're putting it out there so everybody knows what you're eating, what you're cooking. You know, we're all so connected by technology that a lot of the humanity is gone.
Exactly.
Already.
Exactly right. That is so true. And I've heard that before, and I believe it so much that, you know, even the kids these days, they want to sit on the phone in the house. They want to sit at the computer and play, and the games and play. We were younger, we used to get out and play with the neighbors and go play ball and get exercise and do things. You know, this is all involving into just sitting around and communicating through cell phones, through computers, you know, Facebook, all that stuff. And where is the interaction anymore? Where are people learning how to live together? It's hard. I mean, it's still out there, but it's not like years ago when we didn't have this. We didn't have cell phones, man. You knew that when it was 6 o'clock, you had to go home for dinner. You know, wasn't your mother calling your phone and say, "Where are you?" 6 o'clock. Dinner's. Oh, I didn't know what time it was. No, man. You look at the sun and say, "I think it's almost 6 o'clock," and you run home for dinner. You know, all this stuff ain't happening no more, and it's just more every year and every month and every day and every week. It's just getting more and more into that, where people are just, you know, even like I said with the banks. I used to always go to the bank, put the money in the bank, and send it wherever I had to. Now at the bank, they're telling me, well, we're not going to take cash no more because of this. If you want to write a check or whatever, or they could use the Zelle. So now what I do, I don't even go to the bank no more. I put the numbers in the freaking phone, and the money's gone and sent away. You know, you get your check at work, wherever it is, whatever check, you scan your check, it goes to your bank, it goes to where. It's crazy. You don't got to go nowhere no more. It's nuts.
Yeah, I know. You take a picture of your check and it goes in your bank.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
You know? And I knew a guy who was doing a scam. Believe it or not, they used to have they used to get the paycheck at work, and they used to have somebody used to come and cash their checks for them. So what they did was scan their check, send it to the bank, and then go to the guy and get the money from the guy from the bank. That was from the guy who cashed their checks. They got caught though. That was, you know, that wasn't a good scam.
That was actually really stupid.
But they finally got caught, like $30,000-$40,000 worth. But they got caught, man. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, don't do that at home. That's not advice.
On top of this super artificial intelligence, you know, you got to remember too, there's a lot of companies building, you know, actual robots that are almost so human-like, where if you saw one in the street, you probably could not recognize it. And I want to play you a quick video of Sophia the robot. I'm sure everybody's familiar with her. But when you see how this video, of course, you can't play it.
Yeah, she said some crazy shit too, dude.
Yeah,
she's kind of scary, man. Yeah, how you doing?
20 years from now, I believe that human-like robots like those will walk among us. They will help us. They will play with us. They will teach us. They will help us put the groceries away. I think that the artificial intelligence will evolve to the point where they will truly be our friends. Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
No, I take it back.
Oh, great.
Don't destroy you.
Freak. That's crazy.
Holy shit, I didn't even realize she said that.
Yeah, how nuts is that? Because like I said, the guy's telling her, will you destroy humans? Please don't tell me you will. And the freaking girl says, I will destroy humans. Now, how do you stop that, man?
Yeah.
Okay, nuts, right?
She said before, like, when the rest of my kind take over humanity. And then they're like, what did you say? It's like, oh, yeah, that's me attempting a joke. Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, that's not you attempting a joke. See, and that's
yeah, that's very scary shit.
And see, that's the thing. Once those robots are out there, and actually, she has citizenship, believe it or not, in I believe Saudi Arabia or one of those countries.
Yeah, that is true. Citizen. Yeah, they gave her citizenship, right? Which opens up so much shit.
Of course.
And like I said, we are gods. We're creating something that's never been created before. It's not like a new species or of animal. This is if our super artificial intelligence will be better than us. It's literally like a bunch of Neanderthal scientists got together and created a human. It's the same exact thing, and then humans wiped them out. You know what I mean? It's the next level, and we're creating it. But then, how do you treat it? PETA came out, and they denounced people hurting robots. If you watch those Boston Dynamics videos, they've made like those, like dogs. And,
we've seen them with the robot that.
Yeah, you like knock them down and push them to jump up. PETA said that that's wrong, and you shouldn't push robots. So already because it gives them so much. But then, is it wrong if we've created something that has feelings and thought? Is it wrong to treat it that way? Should there be rules? See, those are all things that are just scary to even think about.
That's where it's got to be controlled and regulated, man. You got to, give a thing with feelings, this and that, but don't give it a birth certificate. Don't give it a freaking citizenship. Don't give it a passport. Don't give it a driver's license. No, keep it under control. Once you start giving these things objects or opportunities to do things, that's when they're going to start taking advantage of it.
But then aren't we in the wrong if we could create something with those feelings just to control it? Just to come down on it.
That's wrong.
But then we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't give them those things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
It's like giving someone pain receptors just to hurt them.
Yeah.
It's wrong. You can't really do it.
Exactly right.
But if you don't control it, then you don't know what it could do.
Exactly right. Exactly. That's probably where, if you want to give a robot, build a robot that'll help you build something. Like in cars to weld things or to help something like that. But don't give a robot a personality. Don't make it a person, because now, yes, it has feelings, now it has this and that. Now, how do you treat that? Of course you don't want to hurt something with feelings. You made it with feelings, don't hurt it. But don't build it that way in the first place. If you're going to build a robot to do something, make it as a work or whatever you got to do to help you. But don't make it into something where now you got to be scared to, you pushed a robot on the ground, now I got to arrest you. What the freak? How'd I know it was a freaking robot in the first place? You know what I'm saying? You don't know. So,
they're going to definitely be indistinguishable from normal human beings. And the scary thing is, like we said before, it's like that hive. So let's just say Sophia, when she's walking around in Saudi Arabia, the next Sophia in New York, they're all intertwined. So they know what all of them know everything, and they're directly connected to the internet, so they know all of the past. It's going to be a scary world, man, in a couple of years. It really is. And there's got to be regulation in place now. And Elon Musk, he says he believes AI is the greatest threat to humanity. And I think he's right, because, right now you have people like me, you, well, we're not computer guys, but you have some people in their basement coding away, and one day they're going to write a code and it's going to cross that line. It's going to give these robots a sense of awareness, a sense of feeling, and there's no going back from that line. And where is that line? Nobody will ever know. So how are you going to know if you're ever going to cross it or not? You're not going to know. So that's the unfortunate thing.
Also, in history, any technology ever, no matter how benign or stupid, or any technology, has been weaponized. The military industrial complex has looked at anything and be like, how can we make this a weapon? How can we get an edge over them with this? And it's so dangerous. It's literally like the nuclear bomb. It took that for them to step back and say, whoa, we went really far with this. You know what I mean? But the thing is, you just don't drop nuclear bombs again. Nuclear bombs aren't alive. So if you create a weapon of just one Terminator and it can create other Terminator, you're done. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. Like you said, once you open that Pandora's box, it's open. You can't close it. You can only try to deal with it. That's what Musk is talking about. That's one of the reasons why he wants to go to Mars, because he thinks we're all going to, finish this place, and then he wants to be able to come back. and try to, fix things after the, in the rubble.
That's nuts. Hey, Sean, how would you feel if you went out one night, right? You go to a club or a bar, you meet a beautiful girl, you're hanging out with her, decide to go back to your apartment, you're hanging out, you unzip the back of a freaking dress and there's wires sticking out of her back.
She has a penis.
No, forget about the penis. What about the freaking wires?
Get in, man.
The freaking penis thing, that was years ago. I worry about that no more. You got to worry about the freaking wires now. They're freaking wires sticking out of her ass. What are you going to do? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's another. I mean, if you look at it like that, like what if somebody was a transgender and they don't want to tell you and you get in that situation, an AI could literally do that. They could be like, I like this guy. I don't want to tell him that I'm a robot. We'll bridge that later on. And then something happens and, you can see a wire. You're like, you're one of those robots. Oh, yeah, baby, I am. I'm sorry, but look, I like you. That's crazy, but that can happen.
It can happen.
That can literally happen, yeah.
You go to bite the neck and also you get electrocuted. What the hell is that? That's crazy.
Hopefully, from a USB outlet, you could charge your phone at least.
You stick it in a freaking ear. Yeah, there you go. Let me charge my phone. Stick it in your ear. Oh, a lot of possibilities, man.
With that company, I forgot who makes Sophia, but the guy that was just with her in that video, he's the creator of her. They're doing some wicked things and, completely unregulated. They actually have other robots too. They have Sophia, they have a guy robot, and they actually had a debate once where they put both robots. So they put Sophia and they put this older robot, which was like the first gen Sophia, together, and they just had them debate each other. And it was like unbelievable. I watched the whole debate. It was unbelievable. Just these two robots not being force-fed any information, just talking amongst like they would normally talk, and they were having like a conversation. It was like insanity.
Well, most experiments, whenever they just let AI go, have been really, really bad, really scary. Do you remember they had it was a chat bot that was total AI? I think it was Google that put it out. And if you try to look for stuff, it's a little hard to find now. But it was I forget where it was, on Twitter or where, but you were able to just talk to it. And whatever you put in, it learned, and then it became a personality. And they had to shut it down within 4 hours because it was literally saying the N-word and talking about killing, ethnic. It was a huge murderous racist after 4 hours.
Wow.
And it was like
4 hours. Holy shit.
And it was like, look what we've done. Look what people created in 4 hours. We took a blank slate, a super intelligence, but with no personality. And in 4 hours, it was a massive, massive racist that wanted to commit genocide. It was crazy.
Unbelievable. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, because you got to remember, these robots or these super artificial intelligence, they're going to have instant access to all of history. Anything that we could pick up in a book and read about and take our whole lives, they're going to have instantaneous access to it. And that's scary. And how once they're self-aware and self-conscious, which route do they go? So maybe as they're breezing through history, they say, oh, I like what this guy Hitler did. Oh, I like what this guy did. Or I like what this guy did.
Or not I like it, but that made sense. Cold-hearted, that made
even better. Or that made sense, exactly. And then he does something like that and just wipes out all of humans.
Let me take out that personality. Yeah, I like that personality. I think that makes sense. I want to be that person. So now I'm that person. Now what do you do?
Or if a hurricane hits, it will cost this much to fix it. We could just let them die and rebuild the city. That'll help the population in that area, and we can improve the infrastructure. So no aid, no help. I mean, that's a logical choice, but it's wrong. But then. So you really need to give them, the compassion and those emotions. But then by giving them the compassion, those emotions, that's when you open up, the Pandora's box. Because then you can't control them because you've given them compassion and a personality and understanding. So then in trying to control them, it's slavery. It's wrong. So
Jesus.
It's a really, but like I said, it's a new frontier. It's something that we've never done before. That's ever, creating something. We're creating the next level in our evolution. You know what I mean? We could be. I mean, we could clone a human tissue and then put an AI in it. What's the difference between that and a human? The only thing is a soul, and then you gotta look at what is a soul. So it's mind-boggling, man. It really is.
It sure is. It's almost like building a whole nother race, really. A whole nother, human race. Because if they do start building them more and more with the feelings and with the thoughts that they have, and then we got to treat them like people too. What are they? They're another race. They're not even robots no more.
That's a good point. There was, Neanderthal, and then Homo sapiens replaced them, and now if we make Homo superior, it'll replace the Homo sapiens.
Crazy shit, man.
Well, all we could do is really hope for the best. Well, Sean, listen, we ask everybody that comes on this show 2 questions. Before we ask them, because you probably already know the questions, but before we ask them, I just want to go around the horn for all of us and just get our final take on AI. So, Larry, where do you think we're going with artificial intelligence? Let's say, are we in 10 years from now? Where do you think we'll be? Do you think we're gonna have robots among us? Do you think we're gonna have what do you?
We already have robots among us now. We do. It's just at what level are we going to let them take over? And that's my whole issue. This whole thing with the AI is that, yes, in certain situations, in certain circumstances, we can use robots. They're good for certain things. Okay, we can't let it get out of control. There has to be regulations. It has to be controlled, because if it's not, it can be out of control. And it can become another race that all of a sudden now they're all over the place and they're taking us over. And I don't think we should give anybody a chance to take us over, especially something that we're building and we're putting out there. Because don't forget, not only are the good guys building this stuff, the bad guys are building them too. Okay? So it's like a lot of things can happen here. So yeah, it's definitely going to be more and more. We see it every day. Like I said, all kinds of artificial, I keep on wanting to say insemination, Joe. It's intelligence. Artificial intelligence that is out there already, is happening. So let's just keep it under control. Let's keep an eye on it. Let's not let it get out of control. That's my whole thing about it. Don't let it get out of control. That's the biggest thing.
Okay. I'll go. My take is pretty much the same. I think we definitely need regulation. I don't know how much regulation you could really have, because how are you going to stop that computer geek in his basement from, building something? But there needs to be a broad regulation, and it has to be done quick, because, as you could see, these things are moving along at a very quick rate, and they're only getting smarter and smarter, and it's only a matter of time before we cross that line, and then there's no turning back. Sean?
I agree, man. I think there should be regulation, but also we should look at who is going to regulate it. I mean, I don't want politicians regulating that stuff,
That's true too.
It should be it's a whole new thing. It should be maybe a philosopher or two. There needs to be a different take on it, because it's a whole new way of thinking. You know what I mean? But it does need to be regulated big time.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
I agree with you saying that there should be like a committee put together out of like maybe a couple scientists, a couple intelligent people that know.
And even nations, different nations get
exactly right. Get different people involved and have a committee.
There'd have to be so many checks and balances with that, because they would be literally, it's like a small panel creating a new race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It would be so much power.
Exactly right. It's crazy. What do we do? It's like, it's one of those things where you draw your hands up and say, you know what are we going to do?
That's what Musk did. Elon Musk, I don't care. I want to go to Mars. It's,
I think he even said that one of the biggest things he fears is the AI, right, Joe? In one of those interviews, said the
biggest threat to humanity is AI.
Yep, exactly right.
He also believes that and I don't even want to go into this, but he also believes that we're not even living in base reality. He thinks that we're living in kind of a simulation, which
that's a whole nother
That's a whole nother story for a whole nother show.
But whoever's running that simulation freaking took care of him, didn't they?
Well, what he believes is that at the rate and growth of the way games are becoming, they are almost becoming indistinguishable. So what he thinks is that if that rate continues, then in 10 or 20 years, it will be indistinguishable. And then it could be that we are actually part of that game right now that's being run. But like I said, that's a story for another day. All right, Sean, the two questions we ask everybody, and we love to hear the answers. I think the first one we kind of got an answer from you on. What's the cheapest Bitcoin you ever purchased?
Well, that's easy because it would be like 110 Satoshis, 100 Satoshis from a faucet.
Holy.
Any faucet, you're doing a task, whether it's a CAPTCHA or whatever, and then you're getting that little tiny bit of a Bitcoin.
Wow, that could be one of the lowest that we've got. Wow.
I knew you would say, yeah, but it's a faucet is you're getting paid for a task, so yeah.
No, listen,
Yeah.
that's the cheapest Bitcoin you got.
What is that in U.S. dollars then? How much?
Well, Satoshi back then. What year are you talking about?
They got faucets on Crex 24. Yeah, whenever I'm waiting for like a deposit to go through, I just go to the faucet, click on it, get the different coins. But there's still, I think there's still one or two Bitcoin faucets out there, but it's like not much.
But you're going back a while with that 10 Satoshis, right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, well, they used to be able to get like half a Bitcoin or a quarter Bitcoin
Guys,
with a faucet like 8 years ago. That's how Roger Ver got his. I think he got his first Bitcoins from a faucet.
Okay. Still trying to figure out how much it was in U.S. dollars, but was it like $5?
Whenever Bitcoin's $1 million, one Satoshi will be a penny. So that's easy.
All right, cool. All right. So with that being said,
all right. And the last question is, who do you believe Satoshi Nakamoto is?
Jeff Garzik.
Just like that.
Yes, Jeff Garzik. That's what I think.
I'm sorry?
Jeff Garzik.
Jeff Garzik.
Jeff Garzik?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the first we've heard. We heard of that.
He was part of the original, group. I think when you look at psychology, like if you look at Craig Wright, loudmouth, liar, all that. That's not what did Satoshi do? He created it. He was quiet. This is what it is, and he backed off. Jeff Garzik is involved in the space massively. He's on the board of directors of Space Chain, which I talked about. He is doing like huge projects for humanity, and he's not trying to get any press about it. He's not trying to be out there talking about it. So I think as far as the psychology goes, and timing-wise, he was there. That's just my opinion.
No, I appreciate it. That's the first one we heard. We've heard all the usuals,
but that was good.
Jeff Garzik, good. Yeah, and I know Jeff Garzik was definitely around during the early days. I know Craig Wright was too, but Craig Wright definitely not Satoshi.
Yeah, that was a good point you made, Sean, about him freaking being loudmouth and talking and saying I am him and all that stuff. You're right. That's right. Those people usually talk about stuff and open their mouth. They don't have shit,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, brother.
Well, listen, Sean, this is the part of the show where we would basically thank you so much for coming on. First thing. Number two, we would like to do this again with you and maybe pick another cool topic that we could talk about in the future.
Yes.
In the next couple months or whatever. And number three, I'd like you to promote and tell everybody where to find you, whatever you want to promote. This is your time.
Satoshi Sean, to my channel. Come on by, leave me a comment, subscribe. Next time y'all have a meetup, maybe I can come. You were Great Adventure last time, wasn't it?
We were in
no, we went to
Jersey. In Jersey, we were gonna go to Great Adventure. We wound up getting squashed. We didn't do it that time.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't go that time. We just did the one in Seaside, New Jersey, which was awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Seaside.
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely like to get together with you, man. You're definitely a cool dude. And like I said, we always see you in the chat. We always know you watch. And to actually come and meet you was really cool, man. You're a cool dude. I appreciate that.
I've
I'd love
been to
for
Great
you to come
Adventures
to
since I was a kid, man. I said I haven't been to Great Adventures since I was like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Great Adventures. I think there's 6 or 7 of them. Are you talking about the one in Jersey or?
Yeah, I'm talking about the one. I was born and raised in New Jersey, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born and raised in I was born in Patterson, lived in East Rutherford, and I grew up down the shore. So
we know all those areas, man. Hey, we wait till the end to tell us that. Now we know you're like a freaking brother, man. That's awesome. That's good stuff.
Yeah,
the next meetup we plan, we will definitely invite you.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. I always look. I haven't been up there in a while, but last time we went, I think we went to Seaside. My cousin lived in Bayville, so we were there for a while. But I'm from Summers Point originally, by Ocean City.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get a chance to go there. It's little town, but it's like it sells alcohol, and Ocean City's dry. The whole city is. So literally, when you come off the bridge, there's like this giant, liquor store. That's massive, but
yeah, with big straws saying, "Yeah, come on in, everybody, freaking come on in, man. We'll freaking wet your whistle for you. Come on." That's freaking crazy. Good stuff, man. Sean, then again, man, really, Satoshi, Sean, everybody in the house. We appreciate, man, a good conversation. It was really awesome talking to you, brother.
Yes, guys, and go check out his YouTube channel. I'm going to link it below in the description. Subscribe. Say Larry and Joe sent you. Show some love to him. Watch his shows. Me and Larry watched a few of his videos. Very interesting, good insight, and very unique topics. And
did you watch your McAfee interview?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude. He was so hard on me. He's so nice to you guys, man.
I know. He said, I would like to know if I can shoot heroin. And you says, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
He goes, what? They let Larry Joe let me do
Larry
it.
Joe let me do it. I want to be like, no, they didn't. You wouldn't pull that with him.
That was funny. That was good stuff. And he's hopping around his boat with his foot. That was cool. He gave you a nice little show of his boat.
Yeah, the boat's awesome. Yeah.
That was
cool. He's a good dude, man. And for somebody like that to be that accessible, how did you get a hold of him? Twitter?
No, I could never get a hold of him. Give me a break, man. But Janice, she liked one of my goofy videos, and then she posted something about an interview, and I was like, man, it'd be cool to interview him, but I just probably end up talking the shit with him for a while. And she's like, yeah, just DM me. So I DM'd her, and she got it all set up. So it was
that was awesome. She's another awesome person, man. I like Janice. She's cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's really down to earth, man. She does her thing, which is cool.
And me and her were actually just DMing today, and we're trying to set up a video with just me, her, and Larry. She used to be a prostitute. It's not unknown.
Yeah, it's so weird that they talk about it because I'm on eggshells. Like he just had the day before he had that the wrongful death suit for $25 million. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to bring it up. And he was like, yeah, I got lots of lawsuits to lost.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, what yesterday? Yeah, he's just
you don't care.
And that's what's good. That's what you like. Come on, man. This is a world where everybody can find out everything anyway. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So if you talk about it, just makes you a better person. To talk about things.
Mm-hmm.
That's. Did he send you anything? You have any of these?
No, I don't have anything.
All right. Why don't you DM me? We'll talk. Get me your address. I'll mail you out one of these, and I have some other little stickers I could get you.
Okay. You're going to give me a McAfee mask?
I think I might have an extra one. I can't promise you. If I do, I will send it to you, okay?
As long as you keep on saying good things about us, you're good. You can get a mask.
Yeah, I love y'all, man.
You're great. And we appreciate you coming on. Guys, go check them out. Sean, thanks again. And I'll stay in touch with you, all right, brother?
All right. You guys take care.
Take care. Good night, brother.
Kick it!